Good evening and welcome to Athens, Greece. This is the Basketball Champions League. It's regular season Group B action, game day 6. The clash between AEK and Rasta Vechta. Well, AEK, winners of the Basketball Champions League 2 seasons ago, had their title defense last year snapped in the quarterfinals by another German team, Borussia Bamberg, here when they lost that second leg. You look at the action in Group B this week. Tutsup Bandirma BK taking on Anvil in Turkey. Antwerp will be at home against Pola Cortez, and San Pablo Burgos will also be in action tonight and looking to continue their fine play this season. Burgos actually at home tomorrow against Hapoel Jerusalem. But tonight our attention is on AEK and Rasta Vechta, and you can see in the standings there AEK flying high right there at 4-1. Both they and Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem up at the top of the table. Rasta Vechta, though, breathing down their necks at 3-2, and their first ever season in European basketball, and that has made it very special already for Rasta Vechta, and they don't want to just make up the numbers in the regular season. They want to do something special, and they've given themselves a great platform to go on and have a great season in the Basketball Champions League. Rasta Vechta, Max DeLeo, Frederic Kramp, Michael Kessens, Josh Young, Tim Insinger, Luke Van Sluten, Philip Herkenhoff, Travis Simpson, Kamari Murphy, Ish Wainwright, Jarrell Reichel, and Steve Vasturia play for Pedro Calles. Meanwhile, for AEK, it'll be Mario Chalmers. Remember, he won the title last year after joining Virtus Bologna. Now he's with AEK. Vasileios Toliopoulos, Keith Langford, Jonas Machulis, Vlado Yankovic will be making his debut tonight for AEK in this competition. Dimitris Kaklamanakis, Linos Rissikopoulos, Nikos Gikas, Mavroidis, St. Ross, Yiannopoulos. Very good team here once again for AEK, and Giorgio Sampouros. Also Kendrick Ray in this team, Marcus Slaughter. Kendrick Ray, I have to tell you folks, they will again be playing without Kendrick Ray out injured. But again, Vlado Yankovic is expected to make his debut tonight. So Rasta Vechta being introduced here to the crowd. They've won 2 of their 3 road games in the competition, only losing at Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem, one of the preseason favorites to win the title. Meanwhile, Chalmers and AEK coming off a thrilling win last week, one that was probably a little too close for comfort. But they held on and won against San Pablo Burgos 74-66. The Spanish club battled back and made it very close at the end, and then AEK just turned on the afterburners over the final minute and a half. And of course, Keith Langford was MVP of the week. So this AEK team started with a 102-82 win here over Pola Cortez. Of course, Pola Cortez have since, in recent times, really turned it on the Basketball Champions League, winning 2 in a row. They fell the following week at Jerusalem, Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem, 85-78. But then AEK have won 3 games since in the Basketball Champions League, beating Telenet Giants Antwerp here at home, then winning by 18 at Bandirma, and then winning last week against San Pablo Burgos. So the teams shake hands at midcourt. And you see the referees also lining up for tonight's game. And as far as Rasta Vechta, 89-76 winners over Anvil Vojtlavik in their opening game at home. Then they hit the road and won at Pola Cortez. 90-75. They lost for the first time at Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem by 11, 98-87. Then they won at Telenet Giants Antwerp. That's no mean feat, 81-74 on game day 4. And of course, last week at home, they fell to Bandirma 81-73. So Rasta Vechta looking to get back to winning ways in the Basketball Champions League, but coming off what can only be described as an historic win at the weekend when they charged back from a 27-point deficit in the 4th quarter. That's right, folks. Amazing scenes for this Rasta Vechta team last weekend at home, winning against Braunschweig when it looked like the game was done and dusted by the end of the 3rd quarter. But that was not the case, and it was quite frankly one of the most thrilling games in German Basketball League history. One of the most unlikely stories, without question, to be able to come back and win a game like that. They outscored poor Braunschweig 43-15 in that last quarter. I mean, is that astonishing? 43 points in a quarter. I mean, there's some teams, even in the age of the shot clock, that struggle to get past 43 points. So they actually put 43 points on the board in the 4th quarter and won at home over Braunschweig. Referees for tonight: Antonio Conde in the middle from Spain, Sasha Maricic from Serbia, and Gatis Salins from Latvia. And we'll also be getting a look at the starting 5s for both of these teams. See Vasturia there, will play big minutes with this Rasta Vechta team. Was a big name back in his American college basketball days at Notre Dame. And it's going to be DeLeo, Kessens, Simpson, Wainwright, and Vasturia in the starting 5. And Pedro Calles, their Spanish coach, hails from Andalusia. And he's been in Germany for several years and has been doing a great job with his Coach of the Year. See the starting 5 for Ike: Keith Langford, Rizikopoulos, Gikas Mavroidis, and Howard St. Ross. That is an effective, strong-looking starting 5, and one that will put up its share of 3-pointers. And Papa Theodoro, the coach of Ike, is back to us wearing the blue suit. So Calles went to Germany in 2012 and was at Quackenbrücker Club Artland Dragons, and ended up moving up through the ranks, an assistant coach, and then he moved to Rasta Vechta and was an assistant coach there. And now he is at the helm. And Papa Theodoro, one of those great Greek coaches who we've seen in the Basketball Champions League before with PAOK. We've seen him also coach in that Greece national team setup. He's coached the youth team, in the youth teams for Greece. And here he is. He is a guy that likes to have your attention in the huddle, and I think that you'll probably notice that when Ike head over for their timeouts. Remember, Ike won this competition 2 seasons ago. Last season, they won the Intercontinental Cup, so they, the aim really of any club is to win as many trophies as you can every year, and to have that type of success, they want to sustain it. And when you go out and you splash out and bring in players like Langford, who has been one of the top European players really for more than a decade, you know that you've got a chance. Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching for. It is the early evening hours here in Athens. It's the Basketball Champions League, and it's the game between AEK and Rasta Vechta. And starting things off immediately with the three-pointer is Langford. He misses. And here comes Vechta. Rasta Vechta from Germany. And again, coming off an amazing win in the German league over Braunschweig. Now the penetration, the drive, and nobody picks him up, and scoring with that reverse layup is Vasturia. St. Ross passes to the corner. Gikas drives in and banks it in. Now launching it from a long way out. And Langford has the basketball, goes behind his back. And ball stayed down this end with 16 on the shot clock. That was Simpson who missed that three-pointer at the other end. See Wainwright, he can also step outside. Gikas looks for space. Gets it into Mavroidis, a good passer. Gets it over to St. Ross, and the Cuban misses. Simpson from Douglas, Georgia. Out on the wing, and now traveling will be the call. So Kessens turns it over. Mavroidis is just a solid player in every aspect of the game. I mean, not flashy at all, but he hustles. He does the right things. Great steal and good hustle to get it back in bounds by Ish Wainwright. Now a little jump hook from Vasturia. Now Simpson again. That was short. Linos Rissakopoulos, and the Greece international hits it from three-point land. Former Pauk star. Got an MVP of the week gong last year. He has the ability to really almost take over games. He's really matured, played a lot of basketball games in this competition over the years. And now a bump out on the perimeter. And Mavroidis raises his hand to say he was the guilty party. So Simpson. Kessens. Now Simpson. Excuse me, Wainwright, and Wainwright buries it from the corner. And you can see him mouthing the words, "Let's go." Ishmael Wainwright. Very soft touch. Now Langford. Look at him. Howard St. Ross drills the three-pointer. Well, nothing more deflating for a team than to make a three, only for the other team to go right down and drill the three. Another basket for Rasta Vechta, this time Kessens. And Vasturia picks up the foul. Well, you know AEK are going to put up the threes. I mean, they've attempted on the season 164 shots, 2-point shots, which is inside the arc, fewer than any other team this season, while Vechta are leading the league in both made and attempted three-pointers with 67 and 161 respectively. So there should be a lot of threes go up in this game. See both teams make them already. Rissikopoulos backing up Wainwright. Gets it to Mavroidis, who has the quick pass down low, and Langford, well, that's who you want to get it to in that type of situation. Great hands to make the catch, and then puts it up softly off the glass. And drilling, pulling up and hitting the nice jumpers, Josh Young, captain. Constant drumbeat here in this arena. Let you know that we are in the land of AEK. Stepping back, Gikas hits another three-pointer. Boy, they are lighting it up already from three-point range. AEK. It is turning into a shootout. Josh Young, and again Gikas crosses midcourt. Thought about attacking, then pulls it back out. AEK 3 of 5 from three-point range. 3 different players have hit threes, and now the foul. So if that's on Vasturia, that's number 2, and that is not a good development. So Herkenhoff comes into the game, the German international, played in the European qualifiers for the World Cup. Rissikopoulos takes it inside. That is a sweet move. I'll tell you what, he is a player that can do a lot of things when the basketball is in his hands. He can put it on the deck and go to the basket. He can hit the three. We've seen both already tonight. Young into the corner it goes, and shot is off target, and then the ball knocked out of the hands of Young and out of bounds. Right now on the floor for AEK is Rissikopoulos, Gikas, Langford, St. Ross, and Marcus Slaughter, who's checked in, the veteran. And there's Slaughter corralling the rebound. And for Rasta Vechta, it's DeLeo, Herkenhoff, Murphy, Kamari Murphy. Vasturia is still in the game, and Josh Young. St. Ross puts the pressure that has it taken away. DeLeo, Max DeLeo, entry pass. Going up and being denied was Kamari Murphy. Langford tries to join the three-point shooting party, does not, but Slaughter there for the rebound and gets fouled by Murphy. That was definitely one of those you're not making this shot fouls. Watch Murphy, takes the pump fake, takes it again, and then goes up, and well, they're not going to look at that as an unsportsmanlike. So St. Ross takes a seat. Vlado Yankovic in the game. So newcomer in. Where's number 11? first one is good. Traveling is the call on Rasta Vechta, so Herkenhoff, the ball turns back over to Ike. Langford crosses midcourt. And now it's Ike that turned it back over. What's this? And the foul. Kind of reaching around, using his left arm, kind of hooked DeLeo. Yankovic was playing with Iris back in 2016, by the way, when he was named the MVP of the week. So he's a big-time player in this Ike team. Just needs to get into the flow. Nice running shot. Young bringing the impetus offensively, scoring-wise. Get it back to a 5-point game. Slaughter gets it over to Gikas. Amari Murphy heads over to the bench. Here's again. So that's his second foul, and Kessens, meanwhile, is going to come back in for Murray. So that's a blow from Murphy to pick up his second. He has to sit down. Plays with a lot of energy. So now it's DeLeo, Herkenhoff, Kessens, Jarrell Reichel, and Young on the court. Reichel wears number 30. Langford kind of fumbles the ball away, and hustling to it is Reichel. Beautiful bounce pass to Herkenhoff, and now it's back to a 3-point game. So Reichel, just coming into the game, comes up with a big defensive play. Yiannopoulos getting ready to come into the game for Ike. Gikas. Looked like it might be an alley-oop, and the ball ends up going off the leg of Rissakopoulos and out of bounds. So a little bit of a burst here of good play from Vechta, and Keith Langford takes a seat. And is replaced by Yiannopoulos here, coming up on the minute-and-a-half mark to go in the first quarter. Yankovic coming out, ball whipped back over to DeLeo. He gets it inside to Kessens, and then Slaughter reaches around, hits the ball, and it goes off of Kessens. So turnabout's fair play there. The same thing happened at the other end with Rissakopoulos. I think it knocked out of his hands. Spin move and inside, and Yankovic going to work. Young, very important from a scoring standpoint. Kessens, good footwork, and ends up laying it up off the glass and in. Calles, the Spanish coach of Rasta Vechta, calling the shots, really into the game. 10 on the shot clock here in the final minute of this first quarter. Yankovic back outside to Gikas. Herkenhoff rebounds it, and Vechta now can tie it with a 3. this for Vechta is they haven't allowed Keith Langford to get it going, but you know that's always a danger. Reichel, meanwhile, hits a game-tying three-pointer right at the end of the first quarter. How about that? Talk about making an immediate impact off the bench. Terrell Reichel, a big steal, and now the big three-pointer, and we are all tied at 18 here in Athens. Well, the threes are falling. 5 in all, 3 for AEK, 2 for Rasta Vechta, 6 of 11 inside the arc for Vechta, 4 of 4 for AEK. And you also saw the free throws. AEK 1 of 2 at the stripe, and Rasta Vechta have yet to attempt one. So nice little fight back here by the German club. Here in this, perhaps you could call it a cathedral of basketball. So many famous games have been played in this arena over the years, including the Final Four of the Basketball Champions League just 2 seasons ago. It was electric. It was an amazing weekend of basketball. I would suggest one of the all-time greatest weekends in Greek basketball history. It was phenomenal seeing the AEK support come out and really create a matchable atmosphere. And of course, this was also the Olympic arena back in 2004, which saw some incredible basketball. Puerto Rico upsetting the USA on the opening day. Sarunas Jasikevičius leading Lithuania to a famous victory here over the USA as well. Manu Ginobili hitting an incredible off-balance shot to stun, I think it was Yugoslavia or Serbia Montenegro at the time. In fact, that wasn't in this arena. That was in the other arena, excuse me, but that was at the 2004 Olympics. This is where the quarterfinals were played, where USA beat Spain in that thrilling quarterfinal. But anyway, it's also the site of some great basketball Champions League games now, including this one. It's 18 apiece at the end of one. Second quarter underway, and let me tell you folks, if you want to get the latest news and information, get the Basketball Champions League app in your smartphone. It's got everything you need. I look at mine daily. Putting it up from a long way out, and missing was Young. And now the bump, and Kessens commits the foul. And Mario Chalmers has checked into the game, and he takes the bump. Former NBA champion with the Miami Heat, Mario Chalmers. Yiannopoulos looks to inbound it over Vasturia, gets the ball in bounds to Yankovic, and now Slaughter called for foul. No, Yiannopoulos was called for the foul, excuse me, before. In fact, both of them setting the screen there, like a double screen. Yankovic called for a push on Vasturia. So that's his first foul. Vasturia, 24 years of age, playing big minutes here. He's got the ball in his hands. Puts it up and hits the jump shot. And look who's leading, Rasta Vechta. Rasta Vechta have hit the road, and their fans watching back in Germany, no doubt delighted by this early start. Now reaching in and stealing the ball away from Chalmers was Young. Bounce pass inside to Kessens. He takes it back outside. Eichenhoff. And putting it up, and Simpson gets his first jumper to fall, and that's a 2, and it's a 4-point advantage for Rasta Vechta. Well, 3-2 in their first ever season in the Basketball Champions League, first ever European basketball campaign, in fact. And now the steal. Eichenhoff passes it outside. Young. That was short. So Ike, having some problems in the turnover department. Quick passing ends up with the ball inside to Slaughter, and he is fouled as Kessens bites on the pump fake. Look at this. Astoria came back, and then Kessens, once he left his feet, he was a dead man. You're going to get that one called against you every single time. Slaughter's jump shot is good. You know, the German clubs have really had some memorable encounters over the years in the Basketball Champions League. We talked about Bamberg last year coming here to this very arena and winning that second leg to advance to the Final Four. Slaughter makes the free throws and now takes a seat. EV Baskets Oldenburg. MHP Rees in Lewisburg. Many other games, other German teams as well. Here's the long 3. And the basketball rebounded by Jonas Machulis, who's now come into the contest. The 34-year-old Lithuanian. Puts it on the deck, gets inside, gets it to go. Boy, he picked up that injury last season late, and you wonder about his absence, how it affected that team down the stretch, especially in that game against Bamberg. Would it have been a different result had Machulis been able to play? I guess injuries are part of the game. Eichenhoff puts it up. Well, it was a tough shot. Jankovic drives in and gets fouled by, is it Vasturia or Simpson? Okay, so I thought Vasturia already had 2 fouls. Apologies. That is his second foul. And Jankovic goes to the free throw line. Takes his time. Papadopoulos calling his shots, and his team now have responded nicely. Have gone back in front 24-22. They were down 22-18. Basketball often a game of runs. Pulling up and hitting the jump shot is that man Vasturia again. 6 points already for him. He had 19 against Bandirma. That was last week. 15 the week before that against Antwerp. And nobody boxed out. Allowing Jankovic to get in there and score with a putback. Machulis called for a foul. I think probably just for having his hands on him, trying to deny the ball. Then Ross comes back into the contest. Jarrell Reichel also back into the game. And Vestori is now going to take a seat. Josh Young comes in. And boy, Young right with Kaklamanakis, who's come into the game, right in his grill, hits the three-pointer, or a long two. So that makes it 26 apiece. Howard St. Ross over to Chalmers. And Ish Wainwright not able to hold on to it. That's what Machulis does. It's the little things. It's the hustle on the rebounds, on the loose balls. Great defense. Reach in. I think it was Young that knocked it out of Yiannopoulos' hands. And now Erkenhoff gets on the ground, gets on the court to get the ball back. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Wainwright. You saw him kind of like react to the tight defense by Chalmers, just with not an elbow, but just kind of a little nudge. And it didn't look right to the referee, so he called the foul. Watch this. Just kind of got him, leaned into him a little bit with his shoulder. And that is his first foul, and he knows he kind of took the bait there from Chalmers. That's a really interesting stat there. Rasta Vechta with 6 steals. And Ike with none. Langford, meanwhile, has checked into the game. It's go time for Keith Langford. Still searching for that first three. He only has 2 points. Ike doing a better job on the boards right now. Now rebounding him 12-7. Wainwright gets in, spins, puts it up, and he's blocked by Kaklamanakis. But he is called for a foul. Good aggressive play by Wainwright. So Wainwright puts Rasta Vechta back in front. And Murphy there on the bench. Picked up some early fouls, didn't really get into the flow, and right now is watching as Rasta Vechta reclaim the lead, but he only makes 1 of 2, and now Howard St. Ross takes it all the way in. Oh, what a play! Look at the hang time from Howard St. Ross. What an athlete. Erkenhoff. Reichel switches to his left hand, and now Erkenhoff called for an offensive foul on Langford. Yep, he was setting the pick and was a little late. And that St. Ross basket has really got this Ike crowd on its feet. You know, it doesn't have to be a dunk. It could be a thing of beauty, like what we watched. St. Ross going to his left hand, floating in the air, and laying it off the glass. That was a thing of beauty. Now Langford slipped down, was able to get back up and get the ball. Now they get it over to Gikas, and Gikas off target. Wainwright gets it back for Rasta Vechta. Wainwright puts it up from downtown. Gikas with the rebound. Look at Reichel again, coming up and getting a steal for Rasta Vechta. Gets it back to Young, or Simpson. And now it's Wainwright picking up the foul. Well, you got to really like the defense that this Rasta Vechta team is playing tonight, time and time again. That was Wainwright crashing into Langford. So frustrating sequence for him. He picked up the one foul after at the other end. And he kind of threw his shoulder a little bit into Chalmers, and now he kind of collides with Langford, and that puts Langford on the free throw line. Amari Murphy, meanwhile, comes back into the contest, number 21. There's St. Ross with arguably the play of the game. I mean, that was sensational on the fast break from him. Langford makes the first. Takes his time, misses the second. And Vasturia back in the game, comes up with the basketball. Vasturia over to Young. And Machulis in traffic comes down with a rebound. Now Langford. St. Ross steps back. Shot clock down to 8. Langford. Ooh, kind of slipped, but was able to stay on his feet, and great job, just did not finish. And Murphy gets the rebound. Young over to Rachel. And Vasturia picks it up, hands it off, and great play from Vasturia. And hands it off to Murphy, who not only scores, but is fouled on the play. Goodness gracious. And it was Kaklamanakis picking up the foul, so Rasta Vechta come right back to tie it and a chance to take the lead. He makes the free throw. Kaklamanakis heads to the bench, and Rasta Vechta back in front. Ike 6 of 8 at the line. Rasta Vechta 2 of 3. Machulis goes at Wainwright, puts it up, and saving it in bounds was Wainwright. Wasn't sure if it had gone off him or not. DeLeo back in. Gives it to Rachel, and another foul called on Ike. So here's Murphy picking up the early fouls, sent him to the bench. Now he's come back in, just had a three-point play, but now he's missed the first of 2 attempts. Hoff comes back. Langford. Oh boy, that was silky smooth. He really is one of the best in the business, folks, and you saw it just with that move right there. Just so makes it look so easy. Oh, now the pass turned over by Vasturia. But then anticipation once again terrific by Murphy, but not able to come up with the basketball. But boy, they are just anticipating very well those passes. Langford again. Here's the whistle. Blow! He puts it up and in. Oh, they're going to say the foul was before the shot. You'd almost wish that they would give it to him because it was such a magnificent play by Keith Langford. Look at this. Oh, that was close. Very close. Langford was already ringing it up, saying this is going to be a three-point play. Now he's got to go to the line and make a couple. I don't know. He might just be the most exciting player in this competition because of plays like that. Then when you consider such a tough defensive player like Chalmers, they can bring him in. It's a very, very good AEK roster. So Langford, 2 free throws, push the lead to 33-31. AEK are doing some damage at the free throw line. They've made 8 of 12. A minute to go in the first half. Herkenhoff. It's it back to Young. Simpson, you feel like, is the player they need to get going, but now Young a little bit careless. And saying Ross on, they're going to call an unsportsmanlike foul, and they're going to count it. Unbelievable. So they count the basket, an unsportsmanlike foul. So that means possession. Well, that's a tough break for Reichel and for Rasta Vechta. And timeout, and it's probably a good timeout called by Rasta Vechta. They shot it well from deep in the first quarter, but neither team has made one in the second. And assist-wise, Rasta Vechta with 7, AEK with 5. AEK with the 10 turnovers, now Rasta Vechta with 8. And I'll tell you that the Rasta Vechta, they've really helped their calls with their anticipation.
Okay. XQ, 1, 2, 3. XQ.
Oh, that's a panda, but it's not black and white. But nevertheless, who am I to question? Here's St. Ross. So after the unsportsmanlike, he's already made the layup. Now he makes the free throw. So now it's 3 points. And now AEK will maintain possession. So what a huge sequence. Huge opportunity for AEK. And I guess if you're Rasta Vechta, you just have to block it out and come out and play. Try to get a stop. Langford drives in. Oh, the alley-oop pass to Slaughter. A 5-point trip down the floor. Boy, that was a huge sequence in favor of AEK. They had the opportunity and they grabbed it with both hands, literally. Slaughter with the jam. Reichel pulls up, and that is a sign, a great sign from the young man, going right back after the unsportsmanlike foul and having the guts to take that shot. Look at this. Langford to Slaughter, and don't mind if I do, two-handed variety. So I call timeout to set up a last play.
Catch me, guys. Out of bounds, it's Jonas. Out of bounds player is Jonas. 8 and Kid. 8 and Kid. Marcus and Vlado. Okay. Try to set the screen. You can run. Don't forget this, you can run. If look at me. If 8 receive the ball, what we have to do? Vlado, you go the opposite side corner, and Marcus, you run and you try to find him. If Keith receive the ball, exactly the same from opposite side. And spacing, guys.
Maybe we go for a trap. They found it.
Well, they inbound the ball. Here's the last play. Langford dribbling between his legs, and a foul is called on Herkenhoff with 4 seconds. So Langford will go to the line. That is again not what you want to be doing here right at the end, putting him on the line. So Herkenhoff picks up his second. Free throw is good. And the second one is good as well. So that takes it up to a 40-33 lead in favor of AEK.
Philip, give me look. Philip. Yeah. Good look, good look.
See the rebounding totals. AEK by 3.
No. Boom. Boom. And then Philip, always drag like the last leg. Boom, we play with the pass. And you have always behind.
And that is the turnover battle. 10-8.
Let's go.
One shot. Let's go.
Rasta Vechta with a 7-2 lead in the steals. So 4 seconds. You have to get up the floor pretty quickly. Van Sluten, meanwhile, has come into the game. Wainwright. Pasturia. Quickly to the corner. And they get it off in time, but not a good shot for Young. That was a good try. Nevertheless, AEK get the better of the exchanges at the end, especially with the 5-point trip down the floor after the unsportsmanlike foul that St. Ross was able to score, get the 3-point play, and then Langford with the alley-oop pass to Slaughters. AEK leading it at halftime, 40-33. can see 12 of 18 inside the arc for the visitors. Ike out rebounding him 16 to 13. But anyway, we've got a great game here at halftime. Langford leading all scorers with 9 points. San Ross with 8. Yankovic has 6. As well as Young and Vasturia. Reichel overall has played very well. He's got 5 points. So I'll leave you with the highlights, and we'll be right back before the start of the second half.
trying to find a way through, and he does brilliantly. Couple of hesitations, and he finally got the space, and he finished left-handed. 9 points for Lewis.
Poverty. They just said go to the basket. Here we go. Oh, and he gets rejected. And the ball batted out of bounds. It's going to be, look at this, Mr. McAdoo.
5-second difference between shot and game clocks here. Alley-oop, slam dunk. Down big by Tony Roten. More points in the paint.
Off one screen now. What a pass! Oh, baby! What a throwdown! And it's that big fella. And it's number 21, Kamari Murphy. Just caught it off the pick and roll. What a pass by Trevay Simpson.
And now the alley-oop. Oh, how about that from half court? And it's Bolster that throws it down. Another assist for Clyde.
14 points the difference. No look pass. Oh, and the dunk. Bradovich with the dunk.
Every time they attack the basket, they want to rip the ring down. Another alley-oop. Oh, no way! He did it again! Terry is the flying man out there. He wants to rip it all down. I can't believe what we're seeing right now.
Thompson rolling to the ring. Here he is now. Spins, goes along the baseline, throws it down. Well, he had the #1 play last week, and that might be in the top 10 once again. Siobhan Thompson, the reverse over Mustafa Fowl. Huertas. Oh, they find Salim wide open. The flare is good. What execution from Tenerife. Big time shot from Sasu Salim.
Extra pass, Saros puts it on the floor, goes strong, oh! Put an exclamation mark under that performance. But watch this, highlight time. Saros has been unbelievably good.
40-33, Ike on top of Rasta Vechta here in Athens, and that young man is just sitting back in one of the best seats in the house and enjoying life. Who would not like to be in his position? His team is winning by 7 points, looking like one of the real contenders here early in the season. It's a team that is putting on some thrilling performances, whether it's in Greece or the Basketball Champions League, and now the second half is underway. So Ike beat a little bit of surprise pressure there. Now Dikas gets it back outside. Rissakopoulos. Well, the ball rimmed out. Vasturia has it. Leo. Simpson. Over to DeLeo for three. And just like that, the deficit is 4 points. Turns it over in the hands of Wainwright, and he gets it over to DeLeo, who just hit that three-pointer. Doesn't seem to be a player that's actively looking for the three, but the way he took that last one, you have to wonder that maybe he should be looking for it more. He's in the corner now. Asturia puts it up from the charity stripe and drills it. And just like that, it's back to a 2-point game. Ross floats in, this time misses everything. Leo has it. And thought better of, thought it was wise not to challenge Slaughter. So passed it back outside to Vasturia. Now Wainwright from the right. And just like that, Rasta Vechta have taken the lead. Goodness gracious. These two teams exciting to watch. Ross answers from deep. And now a bump in the backcourt and the foul on Gikas. Certainly this Rasta Vechta team is qualifies really as one of the revelations in Europe on the early evidence. I mean, they have been exciting to watch. And this time Slaughter comes out, forces a turnover from Vasturia, and now Langford fouled by Simpson. Nice interview with Simpson on the Coast to Coast podcast that ran earlier this season after the opening week. Great work by David Hine and Austin Green getting that one, where he talks about playing in Europe, playing for this Rasta Vechta team, what he's had to go through in his career to get to this point. There's shaking and baking. Langford gets it over to St. Ross again. Goodness me. Boy, Howard St. Ross has just taken his game to new heights this season. He is being spectacular tonight and taking the lead back to 5, and that is a long way out there. Remember, he was the man who scored in that big sequence late in the first half where they called the unsportsmanlike foul. He made the free throw, and right now he's got 14 points. Kessens to Vasturia for three. Good. Well, Vasturia is just fearless. goes to 11 points. Dribbles to his right, dumps it to Slaughter, and Kessens did just enough to put him off. Now Vasturia fouled by Rissakopoulos. Vasturia played in the Atlantic Coast Conference in college basketball against some of the top teams in the land, and was well prepared for the professional ranks. And he's showing you a lot of his big game moves here. Kessens goes out. Murphy in. So it's Murphy, Simpson, Vasturia, Wainwright, and Young on the court right now for Vechta. Entry pass. Vasturia scores and ties it. He's having himself a whale of a game right now. 13 points. 5 of 6 from the floor. Langford gets it over to St. Ross. And Murphy picks up foul number 3. And you just cannot impede a player's movement by sticking your hand out, your arm. Bearded St. Ross causing all sorts of problems. Now to Slaughter. Gets it back over to Langford. We've yet to see the best of Langford tonight, and that's not good for Rasta Vechta. He steps back for 3. Good. Right on cue. Keith Langford. Points for Langford. Three-point attempt, and that is big time from Wainwright. His second three-pointer here in the second half, and ties it. And it's worth repeating as you look at those three-point shooting numbers. Each team with 6 makes from three-point range. Langford kind of off balance, has the ball stolen. Murphy bounce pass to Wainwright, passes it back outside to Vasturia. Now he gets it over, and three-pointer no good by Simpson. Can't quite get it to go tonight, Simpson. Gikas from deep, and the rebound. And this time a charge has been called on Murphy. It has not been his night tonight. That is foul number 4. Let's double check that. So Murphy has to go out of the game with his 4th foul, but they get it back, and now Young scores and puts Rasta Vechta back on top by 2. They're kind of taking the approach, it doesn't matter who's on the court tonight, we are going to fight until the end. And remember, this team came from 27 points down at home against Braunschweig over the weekend and stunned them. 27 points down in the 4th quarter and won that basketball league game in Germany. Let's go down to the bench.
We play sweet defense, guys. We play sweet defense for the first pick and roll. We play sweet defense for the first pick and roll. Our offense, we run shorts for, Edge, you have the ball. Edge, you have the ball. Pass the ball here to Marcus. It's a short sport. Try to find the ball inside. Otherwise, here is Langford, here is Glando.
17 apiece in the rebounding.
Otherwise, you pass the ball back. Okay. and you set the slip. You set the pin down for kid. Try to avoid the catch and then the pin down for kid. Short force, this is the first offense, guys. This is the first offense. Let's go.
Back to live action here with this battling Rasta Vechta team, giving Ike all they can handle. Langford outside. Steps back for three. And the rebound goes off the hands of Slaughter and out of bounds. And Machulis goes to help him up. Just love these tussles. Kind of a David and Goliath feel to it, with Ike having won this title 2 years ago. Such a famous name, but Rasta Vechta are on the map. And Young hits the three-pointer. Or was it just a two? It's a 12-3 run, so it's a 4-point lead. Now the three from Yankovic. That was off. So yes, indeed, it was a Young two-pointer. Reichel puts on the deck, goes right past. No, Yankovic reached up and blocked him. Great recovery there by Yankovic. 3.2 seconds on the shot clock. I'm so impressed by this kid, Reichel. He is doing everything he can tonight for his team. Not afraid to make plays. Good reach and steal, though, by St. Ross. Kind of a mazy run up the court, then he takes it back outside. Langford tries to hand it off. Ball batted out. Now it's Machulis from deep. That's good. Another three-pointer. This one from the Lithuanian. Simpson from deep. Oh boy, if he heats up, that is going to be a huge factor for Rasta Vechta. Just like Ike need Keith Langford to heat up, you say the same about Rasta. They need that man, Simpson. Herkenhoff collides a little bit with Langford, who does a great job of getting inside. Herkenhoff goes down. Langford crashes into the cameraman. Look at our man. He's giving everything. And Machulis helps him up. Looks like he might need to go see a doctor, though. Took a blow to the right elbow, the right arm. It didn't look good, did it? The hazards of the job. But he held onto the camera. This is him right here. And then he takes this from Langford. So hopefully he's going to be okay. But sometimes when you're trying to get the best of the action, that's what happens. Nasty spill for our cameraman. Now a technical foul has been called on Papa Theodorou, and I'm not sure exactly what was said, but clearly he was unhappy about something, and it allows Josh Young to go to the other end and make a free throw for Rasta Vechta. Now Langford misses the first of two free throws. I'm not sure if he was appealing for an unsportsmanlike foul. But interestingly, his not worked the arguing. So it's still a 4-point lead for Rasta Vechta. Now, gets it to Simpson. He's just hit 1-3. Over to Vasturia. And kind of a running, looping shot. And then stealing the ball away was Young. Gets it over to Simpson. That's good. Boy, the turnovers will kill you. Very opportunistic defense is this Rasta Vechta team. So that three-pointer takes it up now to a 7-point lead, their biggest of the game. Langford tried to get it to Slaughter for the alley-oop. Slaughter follows the miss, gets it back again. This time he's blocked by Herkenhoff. And great work by Slaughter, staying after it. On time. And Kai is giving the encouragement to Herkenhoff. Think about getting after the ball. Slaughter takes the first free throw. And makes it. He's seemed to stay outside for that first free throw and huddle up. And it didn't put Slaughter off at all on his free throws. He makes both and gets it back to a 5-point lead for the German club. Astoria on the deck, spins, puts it up with the left hand, and he took it right at Slaughter. Well, this is one of the performances of the week, make no mistake about it. I mean, Vasturia has been terrific, 15 points. Machulis, St. Ross. He's going to launch it from deep. Yankovic, offensive rebound, but throws it away. Now Simpson has it. A 2-on-1 break. Hands it off to Herkenhoff, but he gets blocked by St. Ross. Slaughter catches it, gets it to Yankovic, and then he misses. And the Ike crowd shouts disapproval, wanting a foul. Vasturia doesn't mess around. He puts up from deep, and the game suddenly really becoming helter-skelter in the final seconds. Langford. And that's how the frantic third quarter comes to a close with the visitors leading by 7 points. What a turnaround. This is a great defensive play, though, by St. Ross. Not in my house, he said. And Yankovic thought he was going to get the foul called on Vasturia. But it wasn't to be. So at the end of 3 quarters is Rasta Vechta leading 62-55. Ike with the 7 threes, but Rasta Vechta with 8. Ike with a lot more free throw opportunities. You see 14 of 17. So they're doing a good job of taking care of business when they get to the charity stripe. But this team from Germany has really come into this AEK and made a statement. They were trailing by 7 points at halftime. They outscored Ike 29-15 in the third quarter. Just a phenomenal display by them. Rasta Vechta, of course, their name. It's an incredible story. This club back in 1979, when they were just forming the club. As this club played in the lower divisions for a long time. A group of friends forming the club. They decided to start their own club, and when they were trying to figure out what they would call it, all of a sudden they heard Bob Marley's Rastaman Vibration coming I don't know if it's from the radio or somebody was playing it, but they decided to call themselves Rasta Vechta. Fantastic. And the way they play tonight, I'll tell you what, any neutral fans out there are looking for a team to support. They're probably capturing the imagination. Wainwright pulls up and hits a soft jump shot to take the lead to 9 points. And you would think this is where Ike's experience, and they have a lot of experience on the floor with Langford, Machulis, St. Ross. It will hold them in good stead. Now the Langford misses from the baseline. Leo quickly pushes it up the court, gets it back to Vasturia, who doesn't mess around. Oh, and there for the follow was Kassan. Well, Ike a little guilty of standing around there watching. Nobody boxed out. Their biggest lead of the game now, 11 points, 9 minutes remaining. All the momentum right now with Rasta Vechta. What about the job that man's done? I'll tell you what, I'm sure he is raising eyebrows with his coaching performance, Pedro Calles, because they have come out, and it looked like Ike had all the momentum at halftime. But Rasta came out strong. Now Machulis from deep, only drew iron. Young into the corner. Wainwright for three. Now St. Ross for three. He gets that one to go. Maybe that'll get Ike going. Leo. Oh, dangerous pass, Yankovic. Great defense by Yankovic. And it looks like he's forced the turnover. He has indeed. We saw him hustle back and make a great block. And now he's come out and forced the turnover. Langford has it. Shot clock down to 7. Now Yankovic and Machulis, and the push called on Yankovic, and he knew immediately, raised his hand. Wainwright. Shot clock ticking down. Simpson drives in and is fouled by Machulis. Helped up by his teammate Wainwright. Simpson played his college basketball at UNC Greensboro. Other top European players have played. Hickman, I'm sure, rings a bell for many of you. This one is good. Second one is good. Hines also played at UNC Greensboro. And Ross gets a double team and almost loses it out of bounds. So it's just the little adjustments on different possessions here that trying to keep this Ike team off balance. And Ross has the ball in his hands a lot. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Langford. Now St. Ross again. A full meter behind the arc. It's an air ball, but it goes straight into the hands of Yankovic. Now the crowd's trying to get into it. Looks like we're having issues with the score. Sorry. Now the turnover. Yankovic has it. And a blocking foul has been called. Score should be 68-60 now. There you go. That's right. In favor of Rasta Vechta. But now a little bit of a run with that man Yankovic providing a lot of the inspiration. Crowd really rocking and rolling inside of Waka now. Yankovic misses the first. It's not something that's happened a lot tonight. They've made most of their free throws. That was his first miss. He had been 2 of 2 before that. Ike are now 14 of 18 at the line. Now back to a 7-point deficit. And this is where Ike and their defense trying to take the game over. Wainwright, fascinating story, Wainwright. Here he is dribbling between his legs, gets it inside, takes a little bit of a bump, and gets it to go! Unbelievable. Kaklamanakis guarding Wainwright, who, again, shows that great athleticism. He was a two-sport star when he played for the Baylor Bears. Back in his American college days, he played 4 years for the basketball team, and then he joined the football team, the American football team, as a fifth-year senior, and actually had some catches, got an invite for the Buffalo Bills, but has thankfully decided to play basketball. We're able to watch him. He does not convert the three-point play, however. Now, oh, and St. Ross, nobody picked him up. And you can see Caius was not happy. Simpson, meanwhile, gets in and gets denied by Slaughter. Simpson on his back. And now Young commits the foul. Well, he had the size mismatch. And remember, now Young, okay, so that was his first foul. Simpson slow to get up at that end. Here he is. See what happened. Oh, that's what it is. Looks like he's turned his right ankle, and that's why he's holding it. Yeah, indeed. So that is not good news at all for one of the top players here for this Rasta Vechta team. He limps out of the game. Langford. He's going to look to be more assertive. This is his type of game. And facing the double team, he passes. That is now the third team foul on Rasta Vechta.
San Ross again. Nobody picks him up as he dribbles right to the rim. Boy, he has been outstanding tonight. 21 points. And then a foul called on Yankovic. Third foul on Vlad the Lad. You feel the Ike pressure now. Can this Rasta Vechta team withstand that pressure? Vasturia. DeLeo. Bounce pass. They go right at him and not able to knock it in. Murphy has checked into the game with 4 fouls while Simpson gets treatment on the ankle. And now midway through the 4th quarter, and St. Ross, who has just been absolutely terrific for Ike on this end of the floor, has the ball in his hands again. Fade away, and nobody boxed out Yankovic, but they lived to tell the tale. He wasn't able to put it in. Vasturia has it. Gets it down low to Wainwright. But then he was trapped, threw it into the hands of Slaughter. Leo putting a little pressure on Langford. Langford escapes the attention, gets it to Yankovic. Then he loses the ball, and it's a 3-on-1 break. No look to Vasturia, and he's fouled by St. Ross. And Yankovic complaining that he was fouled. Wainwright reached in and certainly caused the turnover. And the crowd believing that he committed a foul to do that. And what an exciting atmosphere, folks. Antonio Conde hearing the complaint, explaining what he saw. Here again was, watch, he gets the ball, Yankovic, here from Langford, and then he cuts in, and there was definitely a reach by Wainwright, but what is at issue is, did he commit the foul, or did he just disrupt the dribble, or, but anyway, I mean, you can't fault Ike fans for trying to get their team to call. You gotta love it, in fact. Pedro Calles trying to get his team to the finish line, but there is a long way to go with 4.5 minutes. And you can see Young now showing his versatility with the broom, with the mop, making sure they get up all the moisture. Bandirma leading with 4 minutes in their game at home against Anvo Voclavic, 79-72, and Vef Riga clinging to a 1-point lead over Tenerife. That would be a massive upset if that were to hold. Tenerife, one of the top teams, and Vef Riga having some struggles with 35 seconds. Benet Halon also up on Dinamo Sassari in the 3rd quarter. Here again, you'd have to say this would be an upset if Rasta Vechta were to hold on and get a big win. Oh, Mario Chalmers we have not seen. I don't know if there's an injury or if he's just not. It's a coaching decision. Mavroidis, we haven't seen much of him in the second half. And meanwhile, Vasturia goes to the line, and he's been a terrific player tonight. Makes the first free throw. He's got 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. And makes the second as well. 18 points. Just a few rebounds shy of a double-double. Langford for 3. Kind of forced that one up. Not sure what that was supposed to be. The 7-point advantage. Oh, the pass ends up with DeLeo. Wide open 3 off the iron. Now Machulis in the open floor. Gets it over to Langford. Machulis finds Slaughter, and he's got a chance for a 3-point play. DeLeo has got to either commit the foul and make sure he doesn't score, or just let him have it. Well, he tried to get to that spot. He was just slow getting to the spot. 3 fouls, and Slaughter has certainly had his moments tonight where he's been tough. Misses the free throw, but St. Ross gets it. Good hustle by Ike. Could be a big trip down the floor. If they knock in a 3, it'll be a 5-point trip down the floor. Langford, shot clock winding down. Machulis puts it on the deck, gets it over to St. Ross, and they do not even get the shot off. So they reset it to 14 seconds. Boy, this is such an exciting game. I'm feeling nervous myself watching it. Vasturia gets inside, denied, gets it back, hands it off to Wainwright. Boy, Vasturia had the wherewithal to get it to his teammate and pushes the lead back up. Back up to 7 points, 74-67. Gikas gets it close and does not get it to fall, and Young rebounds it. Dump again, and a foul was called as Murphy gets it down low. Well, not too much contact there, but you can see why Langford is a little bit peeved. Murphy, who's certainly picked up his share of fouls tonight. He's got 4. He goes to the line and makes the first. I'll tell you what, as big a deal as that 27-point come from behind win, or that they trailed by 27 points and came from behind a 1 at home. This might even be more impressive in the grand scheme of things, the way this Rasta Vechta team has been able to hold it together. Despite trailing by 7 points at halftime, they've come out and been thoroughly excellent for much of the second half. Langford. Gikas. And then loses it while being closely guarded by, guess who? Ish Wainwright. Or no, it was some, trying to see who else. Was it Young that reached in, or DeLeo, to force the turnover? Young, 1:45 to go. Clock started to become the enemy here for Ike. They catch it down low again and hands it off, and Wainwright was blocked by Slaughter. What a terrific play by Slaughter. St. Ross. 8-point game. Boy, that was just a terrific play. And if you're Wainwright, that's where you got to dunk it. Well, Tenerife have come back to take a 2-point lead on Vechta with 1 second remaining. And meanwhile here in Athens, Ike in trouble and calling timeout.
Marcus, H. Out of bounds. H, the ball is here. Out of bounds. Here is Marcus, our special. Here is Langford. Okay. Here is Harris. Here is Harris. H. Marcus, you ask the ball. Try to set the screen for Marcus. First of all, for a basket. Okay. Otherwise, Jonas, at the moment on this pass, Harris, you ask the ball. Here is a 3-point shot. First 3-point shot. It's okay. Keith, you set the screen and then you ask the ball. Okay. If we score, we play man-to-man press and trap. Man-to-man press and trap. If we score.
Well, you heard the play. Meanwhile, also in Group B, Bandirma now knotted at 82 at home against Anvil Vodslavic. So that is a game that these two teams will be interested in. St. Ross is going to inbound the basketball. And it's an 8-point advantage for Rasta Vechta. Giannoulis checks in, misses. Slaughter with the rebound. And then a foul called on Wainwright. Slaughter was complaining. I think that he thought Murphy fouled him, but looking at the replay, I didn't see a forearm thrown, but nevertheless, he has been fouled while he was on the court. So he goes to the line and takes a couple of important free throws. He was fouled by Wainwright. So if he makes this, it'll make it back to a 5-point game. Could be some twist in the tail here, folks. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, rather. There's a lot of big-time players in this Ike team. They're scrapping, just trying to get an unlikely win now. Young brings it across over to Vasturia. Vasturia able to get it away, and then the pass goes off the hands of Murphy, not able to save it in bounds. And the ball goes back over to Ike, who are trailing by 6 points. Well, Rasta Vechta trying to pass the ball to the open man to avoid the foul, to avoid the trap. And in the end, they turned it over. Giannoulis, rather, excuse me, with the ponytail. He's a good shooter. St. Ross is in. 2-possession game if you talk about 6 3-pointers, and Langford cuts the deficit in half with the 3. And this is where Rasta Vechta are going to be really challenged. Can they hold their nerve? Young brings it up. He's able to get it into the corner to Murphy, who gets it back to Vasturia. Shot clock winding down to 10. More than happy to take it down now. Vasturia's got to get into go time. He passes over to DeLeo. He's got a jumper. He puts it up. Oh, that was big time! And that was a 3. What patience, what resolve, and what guts from DeLeo. And now Ike, incredibly, have turned the ball over. Boy, DeLeo, that has got to be one of the biggest shots he's ever made. That was big time clutch. Pass to Vesturia. And I think Ike do not want to foul, bearing in mind the goal differential or the points differential with potential tiebreakers down the road. Rasta Vechta closing in on a very famous win. Great block by Machulis to deny Vesturia. But Rasta Vechta are seconds away from claiming a hugely impressive win on the road here in Athens. And it was looking good for Ike. I have to tell you, before that DeLeo shot. Look at this shot right here. He pauses, he sees San Ross, and then he steps to his left and just drills it. Goodness me. I tell you, but there have been some big-time plays tonight from this Rasta Vechta team. DeLeo now, both of his shots have been three-pointers. Don't forget, he came out and drilled the three to start the second half.
Get open. Read the spacing for the switch. Boom, boom, boom. Okay?
So I screen down for one, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I'm taking off.
Right?
Finish on three. Finish on three. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
Well, 11 seconds in the game, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Vesturia, what he cannot do here is turn the ball over. He's got to get the ball inbounds. Well, Ike are going to foul. I thought that they would not because of the points differential, but they have elected to foul Murphy. And he has been to the line tonight and hasn't been too bad. He's been 3 of 5, but does miss the first. Ike will, if he misses this one, it's a 2-possession game. Ike will push it up and try to get a 3. And he does miss it, but they get the rebound. Rasta Vechta. And this time they have fouled DeLeo. And sometimes that's the way it goes. You get the player to miss both free throws, and then you do not get the rebound. And DeLeo makes it. And now a 3-possession game. So he only goes 1 of 2, and Langford is going to launch it, and from 3 he does get a 3-pointer. So in the end they are able to shave some points off that deficit. It's Rasta Vechta, however, that win it impressively, 79-75 here at Ike. Well, folks, I have to tell you, this is a put Rasta Vechta on the map win. They were impressive. They trailed by 7 points at halftime on the road at one of the powerhouses of the Basketball Champions League and have come out victorious. 21 of 35 inside the arc. They were 9 of 24 from deep, and they won despite hitting just 10 of 17 free throws. A night of disappointment for Ike. You can see Rasta Vechta with 13 steals. Just a well-prepared team tonight on the road. And Kai has really distinguished himself, I think. He's got some great players, and it didn't matter who was in the game. They made plays. I mean, they really came out all of these guys came out and contributed, and those fans right there, I suspect, are going to be having a very good time tonight. They have made the trip to support the team. The Rasta fans will be playing a little bit of Bob Marley music tonight to celebrate this great win. Vasturia was terrific. Maybe if you had to pick a player of the game, it was him. He had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal, but it was a total team effort. Wainwright was terrific with 16 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of steals. Josh Young, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals. And Travis Simpson had 10 points before spraining what appeared to be rolling his ankle. Don't know how long he's going to be out. Those can be annoying injuries. For Ike, well, 21 points for Howard St. Ross, 19 for Keith Langford in the end on what really was a quiet night for him. 5 of 13 from the floor. He did have 6 assists and 5 rebounds. Slaughter did very well, I thought. 11 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals. I mean, that is what you call a man that works right there. 8 rebounds and 4 steals to go with his 11 points. Chalmers only played just over 5.5 minutes tonight, and Rissikopoulos wasn't really a factor. He had 5 points. He did hit the 3 and scored on the drive, but after that was really nowhere to be found. Vlado Yankovic ended up scoring 9 points and had 4 rebounds. So very interesting night indeed here in Athens, and next week Ike will hit the road and play in Poland against Anwol Włocławek, who, by the way, have stunned Bandirma tonight in Turkey, 87-86. So Anwol Włocławek, they will not be pushovers, make no mistake. And Rasta Vechta, meanwhile, will be back at home in the friendly confines of the Rasta Dome, and they will be playing against San Pablo Burgos. So that'll be a special night, and certainly it'll be a special night for the coach, who is Spanish, Pedro Calles, the coach of Rasta Vechta. So another great game in the Basketball Champions League. Well, great for Rasta Vechta, but on balance, we've watched an upset here in Awaka. And Group B. So thanks for watching, everybody.
Εσύ μιλάς με τον Βαν, σ' ακούνε? Ναι, πες ότι είσαι... Να, το ξέρω, εντάξει.
Κλείς το κύκλωμα.
So here are the Group B standings. After this, Rasta Vechta have moved to the top at 4-2, although Hapoel Bank, Yahav Jerusalem could leapfrog them back into first. Ike also now at 4-2. Anwol, as I mentioned, have beaten Bandirma, so they've improved as well to